Hello everyone, I'm Dan Filgreen, and this is Shell Point Today for Wednesday, February 4th. On today's show, we'll get a great recipe for pork tenderloin from Ruth Deuber and Dede Darcy in the What's Cooking kitchen. We'll talk with Dining Operations Manager Greg Pindara about the Shell Point Dining Passport. And we'll hear from nature photographer extraordinaire Sallie Rich about a presentation you won't want to miss. But first, we want to remind you that tomorrow is the day for the Presidents and their First Ladies presentation. William and Sue Wills have been performing their dramatic shows with full costumes at Shell Point for years. This time they will present John and Jackie Kennedy. This couple is always unique, interesting, and entertaining, no matter which of our first couples they happen to be playing. It happens in the Grand Cypress Room tomorrow at 3 p.m. So let's get right to it today. I hope you're hungry. Our first stop is Ruth Deuber's kitchen for a delicious episode of What's Cooking.
Hello, I'm Ruth Deuber, and this is What's Cooking at Shell Point, and I have my very good friend Dede Darcy with me today. We just love to cook together, and you know, we've done a few shows where we've done some demonstrations and so forth. But Dede is with me here today with a new recipe that she introduced me to. It's called peach mustard glazed pork tenderloin.
This is a pork tenderloin that Ruth has already trimmed and gotten it all nice and ready to season. And just following the directions, we just put a quarter of a teaspoon of salt, but you know what? I don't measure salt or pepper. I just put a little in my hand.
Do whatever you want, Dede.
I put a little in my hand and just kind of sprinkle it and flip it over. That's about a quarter of a teaspoon. And then I'm always a little generous with the pepper. It calls for a fourth of a teaspoon of salt and a fourth of a teaspoon of pepper. Then I'm going to cook it in 1 tablespoon of olive oil. A tablespoon of olive oil. That's about a tablespoon. And it says to go ahead and cook it in the hot oil for 3 to 4 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to melt the 1 tablespoon of butter. Melt it over medium-high heat. And then I'm going to get ready to add my shallot, saute for 2 or 3 minutes. Then I'm going to remove from heat and stir in the peach preserves and the next 3 ingredients, which would be bourbon, crushed red pepper, and Dijon mustard.
And we'll talk about the bourbon while you do that.
Okay.
Why don't you mention the rest of the ingredients?
Right,
we'll show them here.
This is, it calls for coarse mustard, and I like to buy it as coarse as possible. Now you can get Grey Poupon, which is the nice yellow flavor, or yellow color. But the bigger the mustard seed, the better I like it. And there is one that, it's an off-brand, it's not Grey Poupon. There's one at Publix that has the whole, you can see the mustard seed in it. It's not hotter, it just has a little bit more texture when you put it in with the peach preserves. Shallots, you can get at the produce section. It's a form of an onion, but it's amazing how a shallot tastes just a little bit different. It's a little bit more, what do you think? It's stronger, but it's not overpowering. Shallot.
It's not bitter.
No, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And then of course peach preserves. And is my skillet hot enough?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take my meat over. Yeah, there's that sizzle. I'm going to steal this from you. That right there is the butter and the shallots, and we're going to stir those up for 2 to 3 minutes before we add the other ingredients.
This recipe does call for bourbon, and as I've always said before, most of the alcohol does burn away. I checked on the internet and I found that there are substitutes for any recipe that has alcohol in it. One of the things that said, because we're using a fruit, a peach, instead of the bourbon, you can use orange juice. And to add a little tartness, just a touch of Worcestershire sauce or soy sauce. And you can always use chicken broth in some of your marinades in that if you don't want to use that. There's also small bottles that you can get in the liquor store. The little ones like you find on an airplane, you can also get those. But this time, for this recipe, we are going to let the alcohol burn off. So, you ready for that?
I am. I'm going to bring my recipe over because it's too far away.
Oh, okay.
And I do measure my bourbon.
Okay.
So the shallots are pretty limp, and I'm going to add 2.5 tablespoons of bourbon. This is a 2 tablespoon measuring. 2 and a little bit. And you can hear that pork sizzling. The peach preserves. And the mustard. And I'm going to, since we're right here, I'm going to see what this brown pork looks like. And the red pepper flakes. And then I'm stirring this up, letting that peach preserve melt. Now I've made this twice, and Ruth has made this once. Mm-hmm. And I think we figured out what I did wrong both times, but it was okay to do it because it worked better the wrong way. The first time I made it, it was a dinner party, and we had a lot of people, and I forgot to put this on top of the pork when I stuck it in the oven for 20 minutes. So about 5 minutes before it was ready, I thought, should I had a V8? And I poured it over there. So we're going to wait and pour this. We're going to cook this for 10 minutes at 200. Then we're going to pour this over to prevent it from scorching.
Okay, what I'm doing now is I had a little bit of the marinade that I put in here and the chicken broth, and I'm going to just bring that to a boil. And then we'll put that on the pork, and we're ready to slice it. No, that's thick enough. Okay. I'm just going to pour a little on the pork.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just pour a little bit on the top. Yeah.
Just a little bit?
Uh-huh. Yeah, not all of it. There. Okay, that's good. Okay. Now, for the test. It did cook to 145 degrees. And it should make it still a little pink in the center. Ah,
Perfect.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
Take our word for it. It smells wonderful.
Yes. Wonderful flavor.
And so tender and juicy.
That's why you don't want to cook it too long.
I know. I know. Oh, that's wonderful.
Have another bite. Now I have a mouthful. How am I going to say
I'll
bye?
have mine for dinner.
Thank you very much. We hope you'll try this recipe. As I said, if you don't want to use the bourbon, you can use some fruit juice. But that's all for now. We'll put it up on the website. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I can tell you from firsthand experience that that is a very tasty recipe. But perhaps you'd rather let someone else do the cooking for you. Well, there's no need to go hungry, and there's no need to leave Shell Point. Our 3 restaurants are available to you for a quick snack or a serious sit-down meal every day. And Dining Operations Manager Greg Pindara has a way you can dine for less. We headed over to the Crystal Dining Room to get the lowdown. Hello everyone, I'm Dan Philgreen, and we're here today at the beautiful Crystal Dining Room. And I have with me Dining Operations Manager Greg Pindara. And we're here to talk about an interesting subject that I think you're going to enjoy, and that is saving money. So Greg, how can residents save money?
Well, we have the Passport Dining Plan available for them in different denominations, $250, $500, $750, and $1,000 plan. And the way it works is the higher the plan, the bigger discount you receive. If you buy the $1,000 plan, it only costs you $750.
So that's a 25% savings. That's a lot of food that you're getting for free, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and you can enjoy it and not have to worry about it.
So Greg, if a resident says, yeah, that's for me, I want to save some money, where do they get this great passport?
Well, you can get the application at the Crystal Dining Room, the Palm Grill, or the accounting office on the island.
Okay, and then now I've got my passport, and how do I use it exactly?
Well, you make sure you bring the card with you to the dining room, and when you're presented the check, you just give the server or the cashier your card, and as they ring in your purchase, it's deducted from your balance, and you get the receipt, and on your receipt, it identifies how much you have left in your plan.
Terrific. Now let's say, oh man, I left my card back on my dresser at home and I'm in the Crystal. That could be a little problem, couldn't it?
Well, it could be a little problem. We have had problems in the past where residents have transposed their address. They live in 208 and they tell us 802, or they write it down on their receipt 802, and then the wrong person gets billed, and that makes that other person very, very unhappy.
Not a real neighborly thing to do, leaving your neighbor with the bill for your meal. So when you get that passport, bring it with you, folks, and you'll enjoy using it, I'm sure.
Yes, you will. And you can come as often as you like, and again, you can use it at the Palm Grill, Island Cafe, and in the Crystal Dining Room, of course.
Okay, well, there you have it, folks. You can enjoy fabulous meals at the Crystal Dining Room and the Palm Grill and save money at the same time. It's the Shell Point Passport Dining Plan. Get yours today. By now, many of you have probably witnessed the spectacular nature photography of our Shell Point neighbor, Sallie Rich. Her expertise, experience, and an enormous amount of patience have produced nature photographs that are simply stunning. As it happens, Sallie will be making a presentation to the Shell Point Photo Club tomorrow, and you are invited to attend. Sallie sat down with Dede Morrison to talk about it.
Hello, I'm Dede Morrison, and I'm here with Sallie Rich. Hi, Sallie.
Hi, Dottie.
You know, we're here to talk about the fact that we are privileged to have you come and talk to our photo club Thursday, February 5th at 2:15 in the Social Center. And we're especially pleased that you are letting us display your wonderful great blue heron photographs in our new photo gallery. And you're going to be telling us all about that. So I'm so excited because this Great Blue Heron series of the courtship of the Great Blue Heron, it's actually been shown at Ding Darling in the past. And where else have you shown these wonderful photos?
Well, thank you. I had several shows there, and so I took them in, and they said, well, we'll just have a different category. It won't be a show, it'll be an educational exhibit.
Okay.
Which it really is, because the period covered is from the arrival of the male at his nest through the end of egg laying by the female. And that's a period that's least documented. So, and the pictures were so fortunate in that there's no obstruction, no leaves or branches in front of the birds, and the sun comes up right out of Pine Island Sound and shines right that warm, soft, early light on the birds. So, you know, the pictures turned out as I had hoped they would. So they said, well, you know, we'll show them. So I hung them, and there were 30 images, and they were well received. And then somebody had the idea that to have someone video me talking about them there, and then to go outside and to take pictures of my taking similar shots. So that's in the video, and this video movie, it's really a movie that I'll be showing at Shell Point.
Now, the other thing that I'm very excited about is that at our club meeting, you're going to be talking about how you did this, about the equipment you used. You're going to bring some of your equipment. So as photographers, that's going to be very exciting because we all learn from each other. And now you had this unique experience because you got a special invitation to be where these birds were, correct? Tell me a little bit about that invitation.
Well, I had a show on Captiva, and the reception was in the evening, and a couple came, and I knew them a little bit, but I didn't even know their names. I just knew I knew them. And they drew me aside and said, you know, we know of an active nest on Captiva with birds in their courtship behaviors, and we'd like for you to know about it and to take pictures. So that was a gift. They gave me the opportunity to see these. And I often felt when I was taking the pictures that I wasn't taking pictures, I was receiving them. They were a gift.
Well, I'm really excited that you're going to come and talk to the photo club about this, and we're going to invite anyone at Shell Point who wants to come. Normally our photo club meetings are for just members, but this is so special, and the fact that we get to hang your photos in our gallery, we're very, very excited, and so we want to let people know about that. So thanks for coming and talking about this.
Dottie, it's always nice to talk to you, and so pleasant.
So we would like to invite everyone, 2:15 in the Social Center on Thursday, February 5th. We're going to have some refreshments. You're going to hear Sallie talk about some new things about this experience of taking pictures of the courtship behaviors of great blue herons. And then all month, you'll be able to visit the gallery on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 12 and from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. And you can come by and see them up close and take your time.
That sounds like it's going to be a very interesting presentation. Well, now it's time to cover all of today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Welcome to the Happenings segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Bev Chanley, and this is Caitlin Van Scoy, and we're going to go over the activities that we offer for you here today at Shell Point. We're going to start bright and early with the men's Bible study in the Osprey Room on the island at 7:45. Then at 8 o'clock, we have the men's match play, doubles tennis. Lily & Company Jewelers will be here at 8:45 for their weekly jewelry service. That's at the Resident Activity Center. Also at 8:45, the Resident Council will be in the Social Center. That's on the island. At 9 o'clock, Jurassic Travel will be in the Egret Room to help with your personal travel needs, and she'll be there till noon. 9 o'clock is also the time for Watercolor Group with Phil Hilton. That's down in the Tunnels Art Studio. Our card making and scrapbooking group will be in the Tarpon Room at 9:15. At 10 o'clock, the ladies' Bible study will be in the Osprey Room. At 10 o'clock, the men's match play doubles tennis will be going on down at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. And then the Model Yacht Sailing Club will be at the Woodland Commons Lake at 10:15. At 11 o'clock, you'll find the Shell Point Garden Society meeting in the Oak Room at the Woodlands, and the guest presenter is Stephen Brown. We have a Health Connections class at 11:30, Agility and Flexibility for Everyday Life, Session B. That's in the Health Club, and it's currently closed. We're going to continue into the afternoon with Caitlin.
Thank you, Bev. We start our afternoon off with chess at 1 p.m. in the Library Lounge that's on the island. And from 1:30 to 3:30 today, the Model Train Room will be open for tours. Come enjoy Jazz and Stuff in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands at 2:30. And 3 o'clock's the time for Bible study in the Community Room of King's Crown. We have a Health Connections class at 3 p.m., Pilates Stretch in the Health Club, and you do not need to sign up for that. At 3 p.m., the Memory Care Group will be meeting in the conference room of the Behavioral Health Building, and sign-up is required. 3:30 is a time for another Health Connections class, Aqua Agility and Conditioning. That's at the LifeQuest Aquatic Center. And 4 o'clock is the time for pickleball at the pickleball courts on the island. And 4:30 is the time for indoor bocce at the Health Club. If you're in the church choir, you have rehearsal today at 5:45 in the Village Church Choir Room. At 4:30, we have a special community concert series at the Barbara B. Mann Theater. Court pickups start on the island at 6:15. 625 Woodlands, and 635 Eagles Preserve and Estuary. We finished the day off with 7:15 prayer and praise at the Village Church. Well, thank you for joining us for the happening segment of Shell Point TV. That's all the activities we have today. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy classes for Wednesday, February 4th. At 9 o'clock, Scrapbooking with a Purpose continues in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. And at 9:45, we have Travel the World Virtually in the Computer Teaching Center of the island. Please sign up at either service desk. At 1 o'clock, so you've got Windows 8. Now what are you going to do with it in the Computer Center at the Woodlands? Sign up is required. And also at 1 o'clock, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain continues in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. 1 o'clock, Intermediate Bridge will begin in the Game Room of the Woodlands, and sign up is required. At 1:15, Vintage Classics will take place in the Manatee Room on the island. Please sign up at either service desk. And at 3 o'clock, Word Processing Prep School in the Computer Center at the Woodlands. I'd like to tell you about a new class coming tomorrow, How to Protect Your Personal Information on the Computer. And this is with Jim Plummer of Parkwood. And an Apple class, Apple iPad e-reader with Penny Modridge of Nautilus. And New Life for Old Computers with Lou Gehrig of Lakewood. Education in America, our special evening presentation, will take place in the church auditorium with Dr. Gary Chesley.
Menus for Wednesday, February 4th. In the Crystal Room, the platter is petite sirloin with 3 cheese, mashed potato, and broccoli. For dinner, it's the pasta buffet for $13.95. The soup is tortilla. In the Island Cafe on Wednesday, for lunch, it's the barbecue beef sandwich with coleslaw for $7.25. And at dinner, it's fried shrimp for $8.25. And the Palm Grill has a New York strip steak for $19.95 or soft shell crab for $15.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at shellpoint.net.
Hi, I'm Randy Woods, and here it is February, and we are looking forward to another season of praise ministry with Theater for the Thirsty, a presentation entitled My Name is Daniel. Jeremiah and Vanessa Gamble are the actors who make up the drama Theater for the Thirsty, and they will be performing their newest musical entitled My Name is Daniel here at the Village Church on Sunday evening, February 22nd at 6:15. Now, with a lion's den and a fiery furnace, I don't want to confuse you with a TV show called The Survivor. No, this is a new take on the biblical story of Daniel, complete with music adapted from selections that we come to know and love from the movie entitled The Sound of Music. My Name is Daniel is a presentation by Jeremiah and Vanessa Gamble, and they are a married couple of professional actors who make their living on stage and screen. Their home is in the St. Paul, Minneapolis area, and they live there with their 3 children. Together they create music, theater, and laughter. For this performance here at the Village Church, they are joined by actor Nathaniel Norton, who is also a graduate of Bethel University with a degree in theater. Jeremiah and Vanessa Gamble have been involved in professional theater in the Twin Cities, both on camera and on stage for over 12 years. And their passion is creating and performing original works that inspire, entertain, and educate through the ministry of their theater company, Theater for the Thirsty. They're also members of the Gamble family. For those of you from the St. Paul, Minnesota area will know the Gamble family for their 25-year tradition of music and theater in the Twin Cities. Both Jeremiah and Vanessa are graduates of Bethel University, and they have degrees in theater and music. Well, their presentation is entitled My Name is Daniel. You'll want to get your tickets now to be part of this presentation on Sunday evening, February 22nd at 6:15. Tickets are $10 and available at the church office anytime and can be charged to your resident account. Just call the office at 454-2147. It's going to be a wonderful, inspirational, and evening filled with levity and music as we welcome Theater for the Thirsty in this presentation. My name is Daniel. Get your tickets. Be sure to join us.
We're glad you joined us for today's show. Tune in tomorrow when we'll hear about an Academy class on former Prime Minister of Great Britain, Margaret Thatcher. We'll hear about dry eye from Dr. Trevor Elmquist. And we'll learn about the upcoming annual photo show and contest and how you can enter your best photographs. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for Wednesday, February 4th. I'm Dan Filgrain, and from all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.